Hey guys and girls, hello YouTube. This is your boy Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. Um, it is Sunday. It's Sunday at 4. It's about 4:30 p.m. Central Time, May 19th, 2019. I kind of want to this video might be a little bit somber. I'm going to try not to make any jokes or anything like that, because, a lot of people have been talking about the death of Isaac Kappy. He's the actor who came out and made some allegations of pedophilia against Seth Green, Tom Hanks, and Steven Spielberg, and maybe some others. I did not follow like his whole like his Instagram and everything like that, but I did watch his last Instagram before he died. It was a very bizarre death, and I'm going to go ahead and read this article from Fox News to any of you guys that have not heard of who I'm talking about, and it's really important. I find that it's really important just to look into things like this, but you're going to see why I always say whenever there's a bizarre situation, or there's a situation where it's like, why did this guy do this? Why did he kill himself? Was he maybe killed? Did somebody, kill him? We don't know yet, so we're waiting for more. People do have speculations. I'm not going to speculate, but just to say that it was very bizarre what happened. And his last Instagram video was very, very bizarre. It almost seemed like he knew death was coming. I don't know if he knew that he was going to kill himself or what, but he seemed to think that his death was on arrival. At least that's what I got from some of the things he said. The important things that I want to get through in this video are just some things he said. And the video name, I'm going to call it Isaac Kappy revealed that he knew about remote neural monitoring. And you'll see why I'm saying that. I'm not a really other targeted individuals, or if you're not a targeted individual, especially if you're not a targeted individual, I'm not just doing this for clickbait. I'm not just trying to connect the problem of neuroweapons and experimentation just like to any little thing. It was pretty huge what he said in his Instagram, and there were some things that he said that definitely reveal that he knows about remote neural monitoring. I don't know if he was being remote neural monitored. I don't know if neuroweapons were being used on him. I don't know if he was being targeted, but there are a lot of things that lead me to have many questions if neuroweapons were involved with his death, or with him, with his whole like the last couple of years, him doing this stuff. If somehow he got attached to this program, somebody started targeting him. But there's some things that he said. So first of all, guys, say a prayer, for his family and his friends, and also say a prayer for him that when he went into the second phase after we die, that he got up to heaven. He seems like a good guy to me. I didn't follow the last couple of years of him coming out and having all these, accusing Seth Green, accusing Tom Hanks, and accusing Steven Spielberg. But from that last Instagram that I saw, he seems like a really good guy who wanted to do good in life. And some people would say he did. He did that. He did a lot of good. Now he says on the Instagram video that he did something in the week before he did the Instagram that everybody's going to hate him, and he made a huge mistake. I have no idea what that is. It's very mysterious and bizarre. Therefore, being a targeted individual, when I see a situation like this that's so bizarre, I'm like, I have a little bit of a spidey sense that says, I bet you neuroweapons were involved in that, because they're just being used everywhere. There's not just a small community of targeted individuals. These neuroweapons and directed energy weapons are being used all over the world for many different reasons. So let me read this for anybody who doesn't know the situation. I'm sure a lot of you do. But I just wanted to let it be known, I'm not doing this for clickbait or just to try and tie any little small thing to targeted individuals. But this is very real. The things that he said do reveal that he knows about remote neural monitoring at the very least. Now, was he being remote neural monitored? That's a question. Were neuro weapons involved in his suicide? That's a big question. And that's why I always say when any of these situations come out, the American public and the publics of every other country, when these things happen, neuro weapons need to be factored in because they're being used. They're being used to manipulate people into doing things, and especially if they don't know that they're being targeted, it can put a thought in somebody's head, and then they go ahead and go do that stupid thing, and it really wasn't even their thought, or their feeling, or their emotion with that thought to go do that thing. So it's a very, 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 very important to add this into any situations that seem bizarre, that we're questioning, or violent, or whatever. But let me read this real quick. I want to try and keep this video short just to show you the things that Kappy said in his last Instagram post that lead me to believe that 100% he knew about remote neural monitoring. 100%. That's a factual thing from what I'm going to show you. But then we got to question, were these weapons being used on him? We have to ask that question. So let me read this. Actor Isaac Kappy, dead at 42, after he forced himself off a bridge, posted an anonymous apology to Trump and QAnon. He's a funny guy. I thought he was a nice guy. I think he's a nice guy. I don't know what was going on with him, and that's why I want to show these things that he said and let you guys know about it, because these weapons are being used everywhere, and they're being used on people, and it's not just to monitor somebody's mind. It can actually push things into there. And I'll probably make another video kind of letting you guys know how the transcranial stimulation device is working and some of the things that my attackers were doing to me that I didn't know. Like I thought that it was just from the trauma and the torture, but they were running remote neural manipulation protocols on me that when I started using this, some things happened and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that they were doing that to me, because they're running all this stuff. They're injecting, electromagnetic frequency activity to the brain. I don't know, impulses, and doing some weird stuff. Some things that they're doing so much stuff that sometimes I miss it. But I'm going to wait for another video on that. I just want to go over these things right now and kind of keep it short. But there is Mr. Isaac Kappy. Actor Isaac Kappy died Monday morning after he forced himself off a bridge in Arizona. He was 42 years old. Around 7:30 a.m. Monday, state troopers responded to a call at Interstate 40 after a man forced himself off the Transwestern Road Bridge near Belmont onto the highway. Arizona Department of Public Safety spokesman Bart Graves told the Arizona Daily Sun. Two teens reportedly attempted to stop Kappy from jumping but were unsuccessful, and he was then struck by a passing vehicle. It's very sad. It's very sad. And, we should just all just pray for him. Send your hopes and your loves out for him so that he can pass on to the next life and get to the good place, get to heaven, or whatever is the good place we go when we die. And let's also send our prayers and our love. And I don't know if his family is on social media, but it's a very, very sad situation. Because I'm like, I'm 35. I'm actually 38. But it hits kind of close to home. He was a young guy. I mean, 42 is pretty young in, in these modern times. Okay, so Kappy died on the scene. Before his death, Kappy, who had bit parts in films including Thor, Beer Fest, and Terminator Salvation, posted a disturbing message on Instagram about President Trump, pedophiles, and the QAnon movement. Beware the man that has nothing to lose, for he has nothing to protect, he captioned the lengthy missive. Over the course of the last week, through introspection that should have happened many years ago, I have come to some stark revelations about my character, the missive begins. It is a testament to my utter ignorance that these revelations had not come sooner. You see, I believe myself to be a good guy. I have not been a good guy. In fact, I have been a pretty bad guy throughout my life. So he thinks he's a bad guy. He thinks he did something that we're all going to hate him. Like if you watch his last video, he thinks that he did something that people won't forgive him for. I mean, just seeing that, like, I saw like his first video when it came out, like a couple of years ago, and then I saw this last Instagram thing because I heard about his death, and he seemed like he wanted to do good, and he was, I mean, I think he abused drugs and had gambling addictions and stuff like that, um, but I guess, I mean, I really do want to know what he did so I can see if maybe it was just blown out of proportion in his mind. Because if neuro weapons were being used on him and he was a drug abuser, if he was coming down off of drugs and then like the remote neural manipulation, his attackers just beefed up his perceptual depression, right? He could have done something so stupid and not that bad, but it was blown out of proportion in his own mind, and he thought he betrayed the country and everything like that. I don't know. We've got to start asking those questions, though. We've got to live in a world where we factor neuro weapons in. They can do extraordinary things to the mind. They can do extraordinary things to our perception of what is happening and make you feel a lot worse for something that's stupid and little, or, I don't know. I'm just going to read this. I'm just going to read this and show you. I don't want to do too much editorializing. I have my own theories about what has happened, but we've got to get more information about what truly occurred. Kappy, who admitted to abusing drugs and alcohol, apologized to President Trump and included numerous references to the far-right conspiracy group QAnon, writing, "While I supposedly wanted to make America great, I have not put much work at all into making myself great. To the Q movement, I am so sorry that I brought shame upon the greatest military operation of all time. Q says they give people enough rope to hang themselves, and I have hung myself. I have told people in the Trump administration that I am willing to admit to my many crimes in a public setting and commit it to execution in a public setting." The troubled actor also referenced allegations he made against actor Seth Green previously, whom he accused of pedophilia, writing, "And while it's true I have outed many pedophiles that were former friends, I remained in their sphere for much longer than I should have and attempted to gain from them after I knew about their actions." Kappy apologized to Jesus and claimed he may be the reincarnation of Judas Iscariot. And I wonder who told him that, because he was into meditation and things like that, so I'm sure he had a master or whatever who maybe told him he was the reincarnation of Judas Iscariot. That could have made him feel a lot worse. So I think whoever told him that is an idiot. In August 2018, TMZ reported that Paris Jackson increased her security after Kappy allegedly choked her at a party, and that police were investigating Kappy for allegedly harassing Green and his wife Claire. He also allegedly posted a threatening tweet indicating that he was ready for a potential shootout with the police. Now let me read this. "If you or someone you know is considering suicide, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. And I don't know how much they can help targeted individuals, but if you are a targeted individual and you have no one else to call and you feel like taking your own life, please at least call this lifeline. Call me, call me, or email me, because I can't get my number out. I just can't get my number out. But and then there's a TI hotline too. Okay, so let me so that kind of gives y'all an idea of who Isaac Kappy was. And right now it's all over Google and all over YouTube. People are posting his videos. People have theories about what happened, what was going on, what was the secret, that the bad thing that he did during the week. He says it was digital, and he like swiped or something, and then he realized it was stupid, and he quickly undid it, but it was already done. So like I'm guessing that it was something digital that he did, maybe sending people's information to somebody. A lot of people speculate that he gave away information of some true patriots to some people who wanted to find those true patriots. But with the technology, how it is, and how the bad guys probably can know exactly where the true patriots are, and basically remote neural monitor them. I don't know why any information that he gave out about people would have mattered. I'm not too sure about that. But let me go to these videos, guys. Okay, I want to show this first because it's my biggest piece of evidence here that Kappy knows about. Kappy knows about remote neural monitoring, and you'll see what he says. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it.
This fight is noble, and this fight is good, and this fight is very important. It was a very important thing to do. Very, very important. Thank you, Packet and Princess. I appreciate it. So, even though people will be pretty bummed out by this shit.
So he's talking about whatever he did. He thinks that people are going to hate him and stuff like that. The biggest thing to notice that a lot of people have noticed is he's completely different on this video. Like videos before, when he talked to Alex Jones and when he's been on Lift the Veil, he's been on all, like, you know, talking about this for a long time, and he's always pretty upbeat and stuff like that. Maybe he was on drugs part of the time, but he is completely different in this video. Which, you know, he could be coming down from drugs. He could just be very depressed. He could know that something bad's coming up, and that's why his demeanor changed. But for me, what I have to add in, and I think that the whole world has to start adding in, because they have to understand that there are neuro weapons that will get hooked into a person. Agencies, definitely agencies in Hollywood, Black Cube, and probably many other agencies have access to these weapons, and for revenge, or for experimentation, or to to discredit somebody, they will use neuro weapons to V2K. V2K, I guess, yeah, V2K would be a neuro weapon. Directed energy weapon attacks, remote neural manipulation, high pitched ringing in the ears. I kind of forgot what I was going to say about that, but it's a question to me, because like I have been with being attacked by these neuro weapons. Sometimes I feel like stiff as a board and just like not like myself when I'm being attacked really, really heavily. So it's a question in my mind. Was it just maybe coming down from drugs or something like that? I don't know, and I'm not saying anything concrete like it's because of this, it's because of that. I just need to ask questions with this, and I think that we all should. Now let's listen to what he says. He hasn't said it yet.
They'll be bummed out by me and be like, what a fucking idiot. What a stupid man. Know that I'm not always stupid, just stupid enough to do dumb shit. So, you are being watched. I'll tell you this, you're being watched at a level that is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. From within your mind.
From within your mind. Let's play that again, okay? We're going to go back. We're at 4306.
So, even though people will be pretty bummed out by this shit, they'll be bummed out by me and be like, what a fucking idiot. What a stupid man. Know that I'm not always stupid, just stupid enough to do dumb shit. So, you are being watched. I'll tell you this, you're being watched at a level that is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. From within your mind.
From within your mind. So he said, you're being watched, you are being watched at a level that is pretty crazy. And I mean, that's what all targeted individuals, we know. This is it's a crazy level of surveillance. It's raping the brain, it's surveilling the brain. Now, the question is, he knows about it, right? Like, he knows about remote neural monitoring. From this one thing he said, he does know that the mind can be read from afar. I mean, he knows there's technology to do this. How does he know that? Did he just read about it? When he was, going and talking on YouTube and Alex Jones, did he somehow find out about it along the way? Or was he experiencing voice to skull? Was he experiencing things being done to him where he said, whoa, my mind's being watched? And is that how he learned? It seems like he would be kind of because of what he said about these A-list Hollywood actors, and also being a drug user, because that is a lot of targeted individuals are picked who do use drugs so they can be discredited. That's a profile. I'm like, it's not all targeted individuals, but I'm saying that a lot of targeted individuals are, not a lot, but a good percentage, a percentage of targeted individuals have used drugs before. I mean, I was smoking weed when my major targeting got started, because they knew they could discredit me for that, and some targeted individuals have maybe used harder drugs than that. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm not saying it's a majority percentage. I'm just saying that is sometimes a profile that these agencies look for, because they know that you'll have to say that truthful people will be like, well, I did drugs and then this happened, and then that immediately almost discredits what they're saying about the weapons or the V2K or anything like that. So let's listen to more, because he says in three other situations in the videos, he says more about this. He says more about the what he calls kind of MK Ultra. But in this one, I just want to play it one more time, and y'all can go check this out. But it's really, really important. So it's at 4301.
So even though people will be pretty bummed out by this shit, they'll be bummed out by me and be like, what a fucking idiot, what a stupid man. Know that I'm not always stupid, just stupid enough to do dumb shit. So you are being watched. I'll tell you this, you're being watched at a level that is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. From within your mind.
You see, so I don't know how he knows that. I don't know if it's being done to him, or in his research he has just found, stuff about targeted individuals, stuff about remote neural monitoring. But from the way that he widened his eyes and said, you are being watched, it makes me think that it was being done to him. Just the way that he conveyed it. It wasn't like, oh man, you're being watched. Yeah, I've read about something. It was, you're being watched, because somebody was maybe watching him. This question has to be asked. Neuroweapons are everywhere. If somebody, if any non-targeted individuals that are watching this are like, oh, you're reaching way too far. No, neuroweapons exist. They're being used in a bunch of different settings to a bunch of different people. We have to start asking questions about this. We have to start factoring it into a lot of equations. We have to know that they exist and they are being used. I mean, just number one. It's like my priority in life right now. And I hope it ends one day. I hope my priority can change, but it is to make sure that people know about these weapons. Well, actually, probably my priority is to protect targeted individuals, try and give them some defenses and relief, but awareness is in that prioritized thing. So let's go to the next one, guys. He says 3 things. I'll try and keep it short here and just have reverence for the situation. I really, I didn't, when I knew about this and I had seen the things that he said, and I waited a couple of days to do this, and I really struggled with, should I even do this? Because I have respect for, when somebody dies, that we need to have respect for the situation, not be a vulture and jump on it. But the things that he said were so important. They're so important, and they do reveal that he had knowledge of remote neural monitoring. And I thought, well, Kappy, he seems like a guy who wants to do good. A lot of people think that he did do good. If he really was right about the people he was claiming that were involved with kids, then then he did do a lot of good. He did do a lot of good, raising awareness about satanic Hollywood, or kid diddling Hollywood. So he did a lot of good. He's a good guy. He wanted to do good. I don't know the bad thing that he did. We'll have to find out, and then maybe I don't know if I'll hate him or not. But for right now, I think it would be okay with Kappy if I just show what he says, because I'm sure that he would want to help us out too. Because there's so many tyrannical, really dark stuff going on, not just in Hollywood, but in every country, not just America, in every country around the globe. So let's listen to this one.
your body, your integrity.
Let me go to the other one. This one's really quiet. I'm going to go to the first one and then go to about 35, was it? I'll go there.
Thank you, Pachyderm Princess. Thank you. You know my heart. You know my heart, but I don't always remember my heart and remember to stay in my heart. And that's the problem. I didn't stay in my heart. Should you defend the allegations? No, don't defend the allegations. No, don't defend the allegations. Am I alone? Yeah, I'm alone. I'm alone right now. How can you help? How can you help? You can pray and meditate and reflect.
Guys, I think it's coming up
on your decisions and your actions. And do it truthfully in a place of love and acceptance. Here's the thing.
And I'd like to say this too. He said a lot of smart things in his final Instagram, video. Like all throughout him talking, like I've watched some of those, and it's just like him having fun and not really having fun, but he's a funny guy. I guess I can say this. It seems like he knew death was coming in this video, and I guess what my thinking is, a man that knows death is coming is staring him in the face. Let's listen to that guy, because he said a lot of smart things about the light inside of us, and really holding on to that and being aware of the darkness inside of us, to stop it from making us doing stupid things. It's tough because, but I really listened to it. And I was like, yeah, man, that's a good point. So.
Like, you can just switch right back into a higher awareness, and you'll be fine. But you have to stay there. If you fall lower, if you fall into a lower awareness, you will you might make some bad decisions. Yeah, you might make some bad decisions and compromise yourself. See, all right. Here's Tree says, how about we all come over and to your place and give you a big hug and keep you safe? Well, I would like that. However, I wouldn't want to do that because it might put you in danger, and I don't want to put you in danger. And that's called making a smart decision. We all make bad decisions. Well, this one's a whopper, folks. A real fucking whopper. Am I in danger? Yeah, I am in danger, and it's all my fault. Yeah. Yep. Oh. No one's threatening me. I'm not under duress right now. I'm doing this in a place of service. Because when you want to serve others, you're in the light. But not serving others at the expense of your body, your integrity. I need a movie. Well, I'm sure they'll make a movie about me.
I think this is where he says it.
You're not in harm's way. You're going to be fine. Yes, Packeter and Princess says, mind your dreams, fam. Mind your dreams. Reject dark auto-suggestion. Yes, and I will tell you that some things were planted inside my consciousness. And they went on repeat.
Some things were planted in his subconsciousness and they went on repeat. Then he says that other thing, the thing that actually he says that after he says this. He says they can, you're surveilled a lot more than you think. You're surveilled inside your mind. So put those two things together. Now let me show you all the third thing he said. But we know with remote neural manipulation, like I get subconscious suggestions, all the time from my remote neural manipulation, and they go on repeat. NLP, it's like a subliminal NLP. And that's really brutal because it's nonstop all the time in a very automated NLP all the time that you can't even hear, but it may bubble up in your own inner voice. And then sometimes they do it to where it's definitely going to bubble up in your inner voice. And then sometimes my attackers will just do audible V2K over and over with suggestions in it. So mind control, behavioral. Trauma-based behavioral control, behavioral manipulation. But y'all heard that. Let's listen to it one more time. It was at 37:58. So let's go back.
You're not in harm's way. You're gonna be fine. Yes, Packeter and Princess says, mind your dreams, fam. Mind your dreams. Reject dark auto-suggestion. Yes, and I will tell you that some things were planted inside my consciousness, and they went on repeat.
So, I mean, he could mean something was planted in his subconscious just by somebody saying it to him or whatever. But you add that together with him saying, y'all are being surveilled more than you think from inside your mind, and we get some hints that neuroweapons may have been used on him. And I'm not reaching here. We need to ask, were neuroweapons involved with this man's life? Were neuroweapons used on him when we see somebody who said over and over that they were not going to commit suicide? Over and over he said this. And then ended up maybe committing suicide. They're still not sure. They're still not sure if there was foul play involved. They're still not sure if he did commit suicide. But especially when somebody, I guess the thinking now is that he did commit suicide. But he said so many times that he would not commit suicide. He would not commit suicide. These neuroweapons can put suggestions and feelings onto somebody's brain and nervous system. That if somebody is suicidal, it can make it a lot worse. So these questions have to be asked. Now I'm just going to show one more small clip, and then I'm going to go ahead and end out the video. Here we go. Okay.
All humans make mistakes. That's true. All humans make mistakes. Hopefully not super big ones. I may have been MK Ultra. Yeah, well, I will tell you, there was some things that happened that were not normal as far as like things playing in my head that came from outside.
Things playing in his head that came from outside. And he opens, every time he talks about this, he opens his eyes really wide because it's bizarre. Like, I mean, I kind of have that. I never open my eyes very wide, but whenever I talk about this, it's like, ooh, are people going to believe it? That's what that opening his eyes really wide is. He's like, ooh, it's so crazy, but people that know that these neuroweapons exist and can be used remotely on people, this doesn't sound crazy to at all. But I don't know if he was done with that statement. I think he was. It says a 111.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it wasn't straightforward, and
so let's listen to that again.
So dumb. So dumb. So dumb. So foolish.
So he thinks he did something the week before this, a week before he did this Instagram thing. That's what he's saying is the big mistake, and he says it's like really dumb. He won't tell people what he did, but he says it's really bad and it's probably going to make mainstream news. I don't know, because I don't know how his thinking was, if he was maybe I don't know how he was seeing things, so I don't know if we're going to see the mistake that he made or he thinks he made on the mainstream news. To him, it was like he lost everything making that mistake. So a lot of people have said that he meant, a lot of people, and I've seen some videos where they say that he meant that when he came out and was accusing, Seth Green, Tom Hanks, and Steven Spielberg, that he was lying. But he implicitly states that the mistake that he made was like a week before this video. So, and he said he wasn't lying to anybody. Like, is the people on Instagram ask him, have you misled us? And he's like, oh, no, I haven't misled you. So he thinks that he's telling the truth about those accusations. And I heard the story about him and Seth Green. Seth Green could have been joking, but, I mean, Kappy does not believe that. I really hope that Seth Green is not that way and is not what's it called? I hope that he does not diddle kids, because I really like Seth Green. But I mean, we know how Hollywood is. We know that people are into some really satanic, awful stuff and hurting kids. I mean, we know that. So let's play it one more time. Did I go back? Yeah, okay.
Away, but again, I think that this may have been all humans make mistakes. That's true. All humans make mistakes. Hopefully not super big ones. I may have been MK Ultra. Yeah, well, I will tell you, there was some things that happened that were not normal, as far as things playing in my head that came from outside.
And that
happened.
Yeah, and that is very, very possible. Like these external remote neural manipulation attacks, I get injected visuals and inner voice injections that are not coming from me. I'm not producing them inside my brain and my nervous system. My attackers are injecting them with fields of electromagnetic frequency, with targeted microwave and things like that. And even deeper brain stimulation could come from a bidirectional stream of like actual photonic energy. And all this stuff is used in layers on us, on targeted individuals. There's way more targeted individuals than just the community that has come and spoken out. These weapons are being used everywhere, and I think a lot of people usually don't talk about them. Or if they do talk about them, they say what Kappy first said. And I kind of want to go back to that just to play it one more time before I end the video. I think it was about 44? Let's see.
So, even though people will be pretty bummed out by this shit, they'll be bummed out by me and be like, what a fucking idiot, what a stupid man. Know that I'm not always stupid, just stupid enough to do dumb shit. So, you are being watched. I'll tell you this, you're being watched at a level that is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. From within your mind.
From within your mind. He doesn't really expound on it at all. He just says it really quickly, and then he mentions those other two things in the video. And I didn't watch the whole video at first, because it was just so depressing. I almost didn't want to see it. I was just thinking, this is morbid. I shouldn't look at this because I'm being targeted and I'm depressed from it. I don't want to delve into something like this. But my kind of spider sense went off, and I was like, well, I have to look at this because there could be neuro weapons involved in this because of everything that Kappy was bringing out, because of the drug use, and definitely because of how his life ended. So I just want to be very reverent in this video because he seems like a good man to me, and he is gone now. But I also did want to show, and I don't think that he would mind if he's up in heaven right now. I don't think that he would mind me showing this, to just show you targeted individuals that watch my videos this other evidence, and we can see that these weapons are being used everywhere, and that a lot more people than just the targeted individual community know about neuroweapons, know that there is surveillance of the mind and stuff. How many of them come and speak out about it? Not a lot, you know. Okay, guys, but that's it for today. Just wanted to keep it short. I hope all you guys are doing well. 40 minutes, not too bad. It's better than usual. I'll be coming out with like some updates and things like that, and I really do want to talk about something that I didn't know my attackers were doing to me, but when I started using this, something got a lot better, and I thought it was just because I had been tortured so long, but it was actually a remote neural manipulation protocol. That when I started doing this and introducing, and I also wanted to say it's not electromagnetic transcranial stimulation. That's what I looked it up in Google. So I've been saying electromagnetic transcranial stimulation. These are not electromagnetic transcranial stimulation. This is actually direct transcranial stimulation. It's a frequency with a bit of voltage, but there's no electromagnetic. There's no magnetic part to that. Now, what our attackers are using is electromagnetic transcranial stimulation. The reason why these work so good is because it's more powerful than it's like a direct line into the vestibular system, where our attackers are using electromagnetic frequencies to try and do the same thing, and they're not weak. These weapons are very powerful, but when they're up against a direct current transcranial stimulation, it's hard for them to overpower that. So that's why it's working so well. Alright guys, I'm going to end it on that. I just wanted to show you all that. I'm not trying to be a vulture about this situation. I definitely wanted to avoid that because a man is dead. And a good man from what I can tell. He had a lot of faults. He admitted he had a lot of faults, but I see him as a pretty good man. Now I don't know what he did, and if that comes out, and I don't know. But from what I can see, he was a good guy, and he wanted to do good. And for a lot of people, he did do good. If he was, and he thinks that he's telling, when he was making those accusations, he felt like he was telling the truth. So, I won't get too much into that. I just wanted to show y'all what he said in his final video. You guys can go look up more about it if you want to. Everybody's been talking about it, like on YouTube, and I didn't want to be a vulture about it. But I am going to put the video up. It's going to be called Isaac Kappy Reveals That He Knew About Remote Neural Monitoring. Alright. Okay, guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon, probably on another video soon. I'm just waiting to get my live stream capability back on my main channel. Alright, I love you guys. Stay strong. Stay prayed up. I love y'all. Just God will give you strength. God will give you ways to get through this. Alright, I'll see y'all on the next one.